Thank you. The regular meeting of the Annapolis City Council on Monday, March 10th, 2025 will be called to order at 7 p.m. Thank you everybody for your patience. We had our amazing fire department and police department putting out a fire of a vehicle in the garage. Thank you all for keeping us safe. At this time, please join us for the invocation given by Alderman Huntley, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. For the invocation tonight, I decided to read excerpts from Senator Robert F. Kennedy's statement on the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it is perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are and what direction we want to move in. For those of you who are Black, considering the evidence there evidently is that there were white people who were responsible, you can be filled with bitterness, with hatred, and a desire for revenge. We can move in that direction as a country, in great polarization, but with hatred towards one another. Or we can make an effort to understand and to comprehend and to replace violence, the stain of bloodshed that is spread across our land, with an effort to understand, with compassion and love. What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence or lawlessness, but love and wisdom and compassion toward one another, and a feeling of justice toward those who still suffer within our country. So I shall ask you tonight to return home and stay here, to say a prayer for the family of Martin Luther King Jr., but more importantly, to say a prayer for our own country, which all of us love, a prayer for understanding and that compassion of which I spoke. We can do well in this country. We will have difficult times. We've had difficult times in the past. We will have difficult times in the future. It is not the end of violence. It is not the end of lawlessness. It is not the end of disorder. But the vast majority of white people and the vast majority of Black people in this country want to live together, want to improve the quality of our life, and want justice for all human beings who abide in our life. So let us dedicate ourselves to what the Greeks wrote so many years ago, to tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world. Amen.
Amen. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley,
Here.
Alderman Huntley,
Here?
Alderwoman O'Neill,
Present.
Alderwoman Pendell Charles,
Here.
Alderman Finlayson,
Present.
Alderman Shandelmeyer,
Present.
Alderman Gay,
Here.
Alderman Savage,
Present.
Alderman Arnett.
Present.
Mr. City Attorney, please present the first on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended to change agenda order to allow R1125, Director of Finance, with all those beautiful children out there, Brittany Moran, to become first, and then right after comments from general public, we slot her in if that's okay with everybody. So all those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is ceremonial items. City Council Citation ID 5325, Eastport Volunteer Fire Company and IAFF Local 1926 Unit.
Oh, Ross, you haven't been up for a while. You read it, or would you like to?
You want to get over here? All right.
Boss has a red one for all. Good.
Hey,
Great to see you.
how you
Cheers.
doing? It's been a while. Yes. All right. All of our fire stations are great, but Eastport's special. So the City Council citation, on behalf of the residents of the City of Annapolis, we are pleased to confer upon you the City Council citation in recognition of your outstanding efforts to install Heroes Memorial Park at the Eastport Fire Station. Your efforts have transformed the space into a meaningful tribute to first responders, ensuring their bravery and sacrifice are honored for generations to come. We know these kinds of projects require countless hours of planning, labor, and commitment to the community. Your actions embody the spirit of Annapolis, demonstrating what can be achieved when a community comes together for a good cause. Your work stands as a testament to the power of volunteerism and the unwavering support of our first responders. Thank you for what you do every day for our residents, and thank you for making time to honor our heroes. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Anyone wants to want to hold one on that side for us? Yeah. Jump in.
Yep.
Okay. Gonna give you one of these guys. We could be on the outside. You guys should be in the middle. That's good. All right. From star. Thanks, guys.
Hi, if we could, I'm going to turn it over to Captain Dallas Lister, who was the station captain at the time of this project, just to give you a little update about what was involved in the project and how it came to fruition. It was over a 4-year project, and they did a lot of work here. It was a collaborated effort between what the captain's goals were, the International Association of Firefighters Local 1926, that represents our career firefighters, the Eastport Volunteer Fire Company, and the community in general. Because the captain can tell you that long hours went into this. He won't tell you how many long hours. We realized that he did a lot off duty, but it was also community events, the fundraising efforts that were out there, and working with state and local legislatures to make this happen. So Cap, if you can just tell them a little bit about it.
Well, the chief has pretty much covered everything right there. So basically, when I took over the station, we had a kind of a train wreck of a mess out in front of the station, and we didn't really take great pride in the spot. And we looked at opportunities and ways to memorialize the heroes that we work with and that are in people's families and in their community. And so we found a couple of people. Bay Ridge Landscaping helped us do architectural design, and we designed a place that has now become a focal point in the Eastport community and a safe place for kids to wait for the bus and walk to school and to hang out for backpack day and do the things that they were doing before, but it was a lot more chaotic and a lot more dirty and just not as efficient. So this is our opportunity to try to give back to the community and to remember the people that have served our community well and served our families well. So thank you.
So with that, I can always remember as being a young child walking from my house to downtown Annapolis, cutting through Eastport. And even when I was a young kid, I could always remember the dirt path that went across the front lawn of the Eastport Fire Station. It was permanently in the ground for the community that's walking back and forth on Jefferson Street, the houses that are behind the firehouse. I invite anybody in the community here to go stop by to see it. It's beautiful. There's brick walkways now. We were able to get the city to come in. Public Works helped us out and put a sidewalk on the Jefferson Street side. And it was a lot. It was a lot involved. And if I could just take a minute or two more for the captain here. The captain doesn't like to be the one in the forefront. He put a lot of work into this and upgrading the station when he was a station captain in this project here. And this project, what was the estimated cost? Do you know, Cap? Yeah, the project itself cost about $175,000. It was done with community grants, state grants, and the city. So there was a lot of partnership there. But in 2015, Chief Stokes, I had to think because I'm talking about the Charles Steele Award, Chief Stokes and the Public Safety Committee decided that they wanted to represent a firefighter every year and recognize them for their accomplishments throughout the year. Somebody that takes it upon themselves and expands whether it's their career in the fire service or helps us with community involvement, safety. So in 2015, they came together. This award was established. It was called the Chief Charles H. Steele Public Safety Award. And it's an important award because doesn't come from the fire chief. This comes from members of the department who every year can put in somebody for this award. And it can be a civilian member of our department, can be a volunteer member of our department, or it could be one of our career firefighters. And because of his tireless effort that he put into this, I'm proud to say that Captain Lister is receiving the 2024 Charles H. Steele Public Safety Award. Thanks for your time.
I agree with Ross. It is the best firehouse. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is petitions, reports, and communications, beginning with update from the mayor.
So, good evening. Firstly, tonight, thank you to everyone who came out over the weekend to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Annapolis. It was huge. Thank you to our public safety teams and special events coordinators for their efforts to keep everything running safely and smoothly for the Hawley, Shamrock the Dock, and yesterday's parade. It was another great weekend of celebration and a great kickoff for our annual parade season. We had amazing weather and streets packed with families and people of all ages. Thank you all for coming out. I'd also like to thank Alderman Harry Huntley and Alderman Sheila Finlayson for marching with me. Believe it or not, it was first time for both of them. Sheila's been to a lot of parades, but the first St. Patrick's Day parade and her first Guinness. She told me her first beer. Finally, thank you to all the staff who contributed to the city's float. It was a real team effort between the Department of Transportation, Recreation and Parks, and the Mayor's Office. I was particularly proud to showcase images of the new City Dock Park, where we very much look forward to celebrating St. Patrick's Day in years to come. My favourite comments of the day was from a young girl who called to her mum as we passed by and said, "Mummy, will you take me there when it's built?" This is the sort of stuff you love to hear. Next up is spring parade season. For spring parade season is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. That is on April the 12th. We hope to see you all there. Last week, I was pleased to celebrate the groundbreaking of our long-awaited transformation of the skate park at Truxton Park. We got yet another beautiful sunny day, and more importantly, we gave some families some closure. Sadly, back in 2021, the Barish family lost their son, Tamarin, just shy of his 21st birthday. Tamarin loved to skate, was a regular at Truxton Park skate park. It was his space to express himself, push limits, and be free. The Wrexham Park staff knew him by name, and Tamarin regularly did his part to keep the skate park tidy and skateable. After his passing, his sister Tegan organised a GoFundMe in Tamarin's name to raise money for the refurbishment of the skate park. She raised more than $50,000, which became the seed money to get the project started. She sought another $50,000 from State of Maryland, with Delegate Dana Jones being the sponsor and securing the bond funding. The city then kicked in the remaining funds, and I want to thank Director Rosalind Johnson and her team at Wrexham Parks, and the civil engineer Donovan Harold in Public Works, and everyone involved in bringing this project to fruition. It is going to be amazing. I'd also like to acknowledge the designer, Dave Bernier, did a lot of volunteer work. Pure Board Shop were there for gathering community input, and Pillar Design Studios for using their input to create the design. The skate park should be ready to use by late spring, and we thank the Barish family for turning their unimaginable pain into something that gives you young people in our community hope for our future. The skate park is the latest of series of improvements at Truxton. The upgrades that include our new municipal pool, new pickleball and tennis courts, and very soon new lights, improved trails and parking, and a new boardwalk to Eastport. We're pleased to make all these enhancements to improve the quality of life for all in an amazing park that more people need to go to. Every time I'm walking around Truxton Park, along Spa Creek, I'm amazed at how few people I run into, and it's a beautiful, amazing piece of nature that the city owns. On Wednesday, March the 12th, the city's Naptown Anti-Dope Movement team will host another expungement clinic. This time we will be at the Robinwood Community Recreation Centre at 1469 Tyler Ave from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Attendees will have the opportunity to meet with legal counsel to file complete expungement paperwork on site, which can open a pathway to jobs, education opportunities, and much more. They will also be able to connect with health, education, and career service providers, and much more again. This event is in partnership with the Maryland Department of Labor, Community Legal Services, and the Housing Authority of the City of Annapolis. It will also be advertised on the city's social pages. Since our last meeting, the city has also passed a critical milestone. At the end of February, the Historic Preservation Commission unanimously approved Phase 2 of the City Dock Plan, including the Maritime Welcome Centre and the new Vince Liggett Park at the end of Prince George Street. Importantly, Phase 2 is a necessary part of the downtown flood protection. It will ensure that there is continuous protection from City Dock through to the United States Naval Academy. When built, the Welcome Centre will serve as a headquarters for the Annapolis Harbour Master and a satellite office for Visit Annapolis. It will also provide flexible space for water education and other water-related activities, as well as an inviting ADA-compliant entrance to the Burtis House. Together, all these different elements, Burtis, Vince Liggett Park, the Welcome Centre, will honour our waterfront history in ways that it has never been done before, and they will provide direct and easy access to the water for everyone. I want to thank everyone who gave testimony in written or in person at the hearing. I want to thank everyone who has shared feedback over the 6-year process. Your feedback has resulted in continuous improvements to the design and made the project better each step of the way. So I thank all of you. I also want to thank the amazing team who led this work, beginning with project coordinator Eileen Fogarty, who has overseen this effort for almost 6 years. Eileen has brought incredible credentials, incredible foresight, and incredible strategic thinking to this effort. So let's give Eileen Fogarty a round of applause. There are, of course, many other people leading contributions to this effort. They include the city's Director of Public Works, Burr Vogel, Project Manager Matt Kelly, team members at BCT, architects, Meehan Reichel Associates, and Whiting Turner, and many, many more. Your dedicated work and professionalism was on full display at the hearing, as it has been throughout the project. We thank you all. And finally, I want to thank my colleagues here beside me in the Annapolis City Council for their vision, your partnership, your leadership in this work. You've been unanimous in supporting this amazing new amenity for our city, and you took action at last on the long-delayed and increasingly urgent need for flood protection. So I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. And now for some upcoming event dates to be aware of this month. On Tuesday, March 25th, city offices will be closed in observance of Maryland Day. The Pitmoyer Centre will be open and close on normal operating hours, but the Stanton Centre will be closed. Transit will operate on regular schedule, including the State Shuttle, Go Time, and the Downtown Magenta Shuttle. But administrative offices will be closed. Trash and recycling pickups are unaffected. To be sure to check out marylandday.org for a variety of free or $1 entry events and activities taking place around Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. At City Dock, the Pride of Baltimore will be offering tours. On March 22nd, we've got a couple of events taking place. First is the Annapolis Running Festival, which begins at Navy Stadium and continues through downtown. The event begins around 7 a.m. and the last runners should cross the finish line by 10:30 a.m. On the same day, Eastport's annual Oyster Roast and Sock Burning, a big, huge event which we all love to take part of. It is a rite of spring for Annapolitans and a great way to celebrate spring equinox and the beginning of boating season, something very important to Alderman Arnett's heart. Tickets are available for this event at the Maritime Museum. It always sells out and it is packed and it's so much fun. Usually get the governor and the county executive there as well. Later in the month, the City plays host to the Annapolis Film Festival at venues around the city. This year's opening night film is the 2025 British comedy, The Ballad of Wallace Island. Learn more online at AnnapolisFilmFestival.com. And finally, the real sporting event for the Mid-Atlantic region that everybody's talking about, which sells out again and again, and this year is on April the 5th, is the Annapolis Cup, a croquet match between the Johnnies and the Mids. Tickets are now on sale at St. John's College website. It's an amazing event to get dressed up for, and it is so uniquely Annapolis. We all love it. So we look forward to this spring. But now, thank you. Let's all get on with the meeting. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is reports by committees.
Alderman O'Neill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. The Transportation Committee will meet on Wednesday at 4 p.m. here in Council Chambers with updates from our parking contractors and our Transportation Board, as well as our Transportation Director. And we're going to be talking about the sidewalk usage along Taylor Avenue and up around the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Finlayson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Rules and City Government Committee met on Friday, March 7th. We addressed 3 pieces of legislation. R54, changes in position, classifications, and pay plans. We gave it a favorable recommendation with amendments. O1024, outdoor dining requirements in Annapolis, also received a favorable recommendation with amendments. O525, speed monitoring cameras, we gave it a favorable recommendation. We also had an opportunity to hear from 5 of the 10 organizations who received Adopt a Community grant. OIC, Mr. Jesse Radulis presented to us, as did Stan and Shirley Womack for the Annapolis All-Stars. The Bay Ridge Gardens program, Reverend Colbert and Ms. Jones presented. Charting Careers was represented by Aaron Snell and Renita Anderson, and RCDC H2O in Robinwood, Pastor Menendez presented. Those 5 organizations gave us and continue to give us an opportunity to see exactly how our nonprofit funding is spent. And on each of your desks is a packet from those 5 organizations so that you can see and truly appreciate how our grants are being used and truly impacting our community. The next meeting for rules will be Friday, April 4th, 1 o'clock here in Council Chambers. All are invited to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Arnett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to follow up on Alderwoman Finlayson's report in these days that are fairly glum. The reports from the 5 community organizations were really very uplifting. I want to thank the Alderwoman for starting the program, but this is a way that the city can extend services to our constituents and have the volunteers do the work. But it was very uplifting, and I look forward to the next 5 reports as well.
Thank you. Alderman Pindell Charles.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Public Safety Standing Committee met on March the 3rd. At that time, we had general discussion from the Office of Emergency Management update, Annapolis Police Department update, Annapolis Fire Department update, and Alderman Arnett was there representing Ward 8, and we this year are focusing on wards. So Ward 8 was our ward for March. Each department had a slide deck. All departments and chiefs and their leadership staff were there to answer questions and ask questions from the audience. The next Public Safety Standing Committee meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 7th at 6:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Savage.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next Environmental Matters meeting is this Thursday, 3 p.m. I believe we're going to be continuing our discussion about the Watershed Restoration Fund and also discussing the legislation pilot project to put the green roofs on the bus shelters. And also development update from Plan and Zoning.
Thank you. Alderman Gay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. The Housing Human Welfare Committee will be meeting March the 17th at 6:30, which means no St. Patrick's Day for us, unfortunately. But we hopefully will have a packed agenda. I did extend an invitation to BG&E to talk about the power outages, the two that have occurred in the last month in Robinwood, as well as the rate hikes that our constituents are going through. And so hopefully they will attend. And we do also have legislation to follow up on from our last meeting in February. That'll be this Monday.
Thank you. Alderman Shannon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Economic Matters will be meeting Wednesday, March 19th at 6:30 p.m.
Alderman Huntley.
The last meeting of the Finance Committee was February 26th, and we voted favorably on the transfer of some money for Truxton Park pickleball lights to Truxton Park skate park. You'll see that on the agenda today. Then also R1025. We had a good discussion about the Annapolis Film Festival fee waiver. Alderman Gay joined us for that. And part of the conversation was around making sure that we're fully accounting for all of the different ways that we support these organizations. So we have the fee waiver, but we also have some funding that we give to them through, I think, planning and zoning. So just making sure that we fully understand the total scope of that. And then we had a few really helpful discussions. This is something I've been trying to do a little bit more with the Finance Committee, have folks come in and talk about how the budget's really being implemented. So I want to thank our Assistant City Manager, Buckland, and our Human Resource Manager, Ms. Hopkins, and of course, as always, our Budget Manager, Mr. Trudeau, to talk about some of the positions that we've put in the budget and the status of hiring them. That was super informative. I really appreciate that. And then finally, we voted on the updated schedule for our budget department presentations. And finally, we'll have our next meeting on Wednesday, March 19th.
Thank you. Alderman Pindell Charles again.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, I have a question for Alderman Gay. Will the Admiral Oates Management Company be coming on the 17th?
I'm glad that you asked that because I thought about bringing a floor vote tonight. In order for us to subpoena them, I believe I've heard from the law office, we actually have to take or create a resolution. Am I correct? Thank you. And it has to be voted on by the full council. And so, it's no way that we'd have it turned around that fast. And so we'll have to get them in a special meeting or in a meeting in April.
Fine.
Yeah.
And I'd be definitely good with being a co-sponsor for that resolution.
I will get the email out so they can start.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is comments by the general public.
Okay. We have two people signed up to speak. If you are here to speak on,
Point of order.
Yep.
I thought we removed. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, missing that, sorry. Okay, yeah, so we have public hearings on property development in Annapolis, 03324, and mayor and alderperson city manager compensation. They will have separate public hearings tonight, so please come up at a separate time for those. But if you aren't here to speak on those two things tonight, please come forward. The first person signed up to speak is Chris Miller.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Chris Miller, and I am the Director of Finance and Operations at Maryland Hall for the Creative Arts. Maryland Hall's facilities and programming are an essential cultural resource for the residents of Annapolis. We are grateful to have permit fees waived on previous renovations to improve our facilities for local use. I'm here today to request that the city extended that support to our upcoming capital renovation, which will massively improve our audience experience and almost double our performance hosting capacity. As many of you know, Maryland Hall is a critical cultural center in Annapolis. We are proud and an important partner for the city. Our facilities have hosted important events for Annapolis throughout their history, including the Annapolis Film Festival, the citywide Day of the Dead, Juneteenth, and Pride festivals. If any of you have visited Maryland Hall for these events, or indoor events specifically, you may have noticed that our building is very hot. Indoor temperatures at Maryland Hall are regularly over 80 degrees, thanks to our antique boiler in the winter and the lack of central air conditioning in the summer. This issue has forced us to cancel some of our summer programs in recent years, and it has an extremely negative impact on patron experience throughout the year. Our current capital campaign renovations, which we hope to begin in late May, will replace our boiler and install up-to-date VRF units throughout the building. This will dramatically improve climate control, efficiency, and Maryland Hall's overall carbon footprint. The renovations will also improve ventilation in some of our specialty studio spaces, making our classes and artists work safer and our programs far more enjoyable. This project is designed to have the maximum benefit for the city residents with the least possible disruption. Our 725-seat main theater, which is an indispensable resource for this area, will remain operational throughout the construction. We're also taking advantage of this opportunity to install soundproofing in our downstairs Bowen Theater, which will allow us to host 2 indoor performances at once for the first time and open an additional 140 performance support opportunities for local partners each year. Maryland Hall is a nonprofit organization. We reduce and eliminate costs for patrons wherever possible to make the arts accessible for all. That means that we rely on the generosity of our patrons and the support of our local community to make our programs possible, including this capital campaign. We have already raised 80% of our goal for this project and support from generous private donors and the state government. As an important resource and partner for the city of Annapolis, we ask that you consider supporting this project by waiving permitting fees, as you have in the past, to make these lasting improvements possible at Maryland Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. But I'm really glad you did that. Thank you so much. Next up, Dimitri. Just want to. Well, we can. Just you want to get behind the podium, give your full name and address, Dimitri. Thank you.
There we go. I know. I spoke both to Mayor Buckley and my alderman, and about this matter. There's something I've been looking at all my life. I mean, I was born here, and there's a property which is on there. I put a mock-up, a synthetic building there. I mean, I actually fabricated a building on that corner, as you see the picture, to show what it might look like. But on Monticello Avenue and West Street, there's that gas station that is just like finished, and the property has been considered by a developer who purchased the land, I believe, to make more, these big tall buildings that we see on West Street. And I see this as the perfect opportunity to make a park where it's badly needed in the center of the city, where it would be walkable from many parts, from Murray Hill, President's Hill, and other places. My idea is that people shouldn't have to get into a car and go to a park someplace, and something that you can ride your bicycle from and have a coffee, get something, carry out, sit there. But my idea is to have this park that sits there, and it would be, in the center, it would be like places where artists could show their artwork, musicians could be performing, there could be farmers markets, so people could shop while walking, walk to the place and get some food. And then, to the full extent, if this goes a little further, a pump track around a pump track is like something skateboarders use. It's something mountain bikers use, skaters, and they just basically are little waves. and you don't have to pedal, you just push your body. And it's excellent exercise. And it's very attractive to watch. One of the things about this park is if the city does not purchase this expensive piece of land, it's gone. No one, every time they build a building, it just causes these big things called shadows, if you see in the pictures. These big shadows come across in the morning. There's no light on the street. And this particular spot has always had sunlight. It's going to change the environment. Also, building up another building is just bad for the water, all the waterways and stuff. All the land becomes impermeable at the sun. And then you have to manage it. Then you have the automobiles where you have to park. And if you look at this place, Monticello comes out here, and then there's a hill, Jefferson Street's here, and there's like this dysfunctional stoplight. So this on Jefferson, you walk there, the stoplight, it says red, and you get to cross, but you don't know that side says green. Like the stupidest stoplight on earth. You face this way, it's red. So if you tell your children to cross the street, oh, they're dead. And it's not easy to fix that. If you build more apartments, then how are the cars going to get out? They don't have a back entrance, exit. So in terms of long term, this is a very permanent thing. The city needs parks that are local and very usable. I think, what else was I going to say about this? Does anybody have any questions or anything like that?
Sorry, Dimitri, it's just public testimony. Thank you.
Okay. If anyone asked me, if they thought of anything.
But we know where you live because we see you on West Street all the time. Right.
Well, it's also, the other thing is the place, it was originally designed to be called the Art District. And there's a lot of signs up there and not very many places that actually sell art. Because all these big buildings, suddenly, the first block is not the Art District, as I understand. And there's lots of art places because the low buildings have lower rents and they're smaller. And when they make new buildings, everything becomes totally, corporate America comes in, things like that. And then we're really just destroying the city. Keeping low buildings, low profiles is really the solution to preserve the charm of the city. Okay?
Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you. They went that way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, no one else has signed up to speak. Would anyone else like to come forward and speak now? Yep, we've all. Anybody else like to come forward? Okay, I declare comments by the general public closed. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is the rescheduled one item from the legislative actions on second reader, Resolution R1125, Director of Finance Brittany Moran.
Can I get a motion to adopt R11-25 on second reader?
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley,
Yes.
Alderman Savage,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderman Huntley,
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill,
Aye.
Alderwoman Kendall Charles,
Aye.
Alderman Mason,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Gay.
Aye.
All right, congratulations. We might embarrass you with a picture now because you brought the kids, those beautiful kids with you. So.
The mic.
Here. Sorry.
Yep.
I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity, and I'm excited to start and get to work with everyone. And thank you for welcoming all of our children into your meeting tonight. Thank you.
Are we paying for space? No. Those were the days.
Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is approval of the consent calendar.
Can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Is that a roll call?
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley,
Aye.
Alderman Savage,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderman Huntley,
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill,
Aye.
Alderwoman Pendle Charles,
Aye.
Alderman Lason,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Gay.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is public hearings, beginning with ordinance 03324, appeals process for property development in Annapolis.
Okay, there is no one signed up to speak on 033-24. Going once, going twice. We declare the public hearing on 033-24 closed. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item on the agenda.
Yes, under public hearings, resolutions R825, mayor, alderperson, and city manager compensation.
No one signed up to speak. I do know that the committee would like to say a couple of words. Is that right? Yeah. This is the Salary Review Committee who worked under a very short timeline, and no one is here to comment on your work, and we lined you all up, but we just want to say thank you, and we know you're very diligent in what you've...
Yeah. Okay. Hi, good evening. Good evening, Mayor Buckley and the City Council members. My name is Faye Curry, and I'm honored to serve as a member of the 2025 Salary Review Commission. With me this evening are a couple of our commission members. Unfortunately, not all the members could attend. They extend their deepest regrets. At this time, we have Barbara Chenault from Ward 3 and our quiet and shy Stuart Cohen from Ward 1. And I am from Ward 7.
And I'm
Brandon Wright.
Brandon
is
Wright from Ward 2.
Thank you so very much, Brandon. In addition to that, commission members was Paul Rankin, who was our chair, and he's Ward 8, and Sienna Scott, who was Ward 5. Commission members represent 6 of the city's 8 wards, and our report represent a unanimous position of the group on all matters addressed therein. You have a copy of the report before you, so I will not go over all of the mundane details regarding our remit and authorities, which were found in the introduction and background sections. Generally, the charter of the City of Annapolis stipulates that a commission is established no later than 1 year prior to the date of every general election to review the current compensation, including benefits, provided to the mayor and alderpersons. Our legislature remitted this year also included a requirement to review the city manager's compensation, which we have done. The commission met 6 times and operated in full compliance with the Maryland Open Meetings Act and other applicable meeting rules and conditions. Before I present the recommendation to the commission, I would like to extend special thanks to Tricia Hopkins. Without those assistance and guidance, we simply could not have completed our work in a tight time frame provided. Her expertise was invaluable to our success, and it's clear to us that she is a great asset to the city. Additionally, during the course of our work, which included a view of compensation data from counties and municipalities around the state and the county, our resources are provided in the documentation, review, and persons interviewed section of the report. We all became convinced that compensation levels for each of these positions we were asked to review was far, far too low. Indeed, we believe the current compensation level are so low that they may act as a disincentive to persons who otherwise might wish to serve the city. The The commissioners believe that we live in one of the most wonderful cities in Maryland, if not the nation, in our opinion. If we want Annapolis to thrive in the future, it must be administered by the best individuals we can find. As such, it's necessary to ensure our compensation levels reflect this goal. I will now present the recommendations of the commission. The mayor. The commission recommended that the mayor of Annapolis be directly compensated at a rate of $120,000 per year. The benefits package for the mayor should remain unchanged.
Not this mayor.
Does that include a ding?
2, alderpersons. A direct compensation. The commission recommends that the compensation for alderpersons be increased in the following manner. Year 1, $32,000. Year 2, $34,000. Year 3, $36,000. Year 4, $38,000. B, benefits. The commission recommends that in addition to the current benefits currently provided, which shall remain largely unchanged, the city should provide each alderperson with a cell phone been used exclusively for the conduct of city business. The city should pay for all these expenses related to said cell phone, including initial purchase. C, annual allowance. The commission recommends that the annual allowance provided to each alderperson be increased to $3,000 per year. Number 3 is the city manager. The commission recommends the city of the city manager's annual compensation be not less than $250,000 per year and not greater than $294,000 per year. Further, we recommend to extend practicable but applicable city rules and statutes that the city manager's compensation be higher than that of his/her direct reports. B, the commission urges the city council to exclude from the purview the future salary review commission consideration of recommendation upon the compensation for the city manager. It is our understanding that we believe and is supported by applicable provisions in the city charter, and that the city manager is appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the city council and is a direct report to the mayor. That it should be the mayor who sets his or her salary in accordance with the executive pay plan. In conclusion, the members of the 2025 Salary Review Commission are honored to have this opportunity to serve the citizens of Annapolis. We work diligently to develop the recommendations contained in our report, and we hope they will be useful to the City Council and its deliberation on the importance of this topic. And we thank you.
We thank you. Thank you so much. Any other comments? I kept you a little long there, sorry. Yeah, well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Stuart Cohen, I was indeed honored to be on the committee, and indeed I am pretty shy, so I will start off by wanting to thank each of you for the services that you perform at what I consider an embarrassing compensation level. I have surveyed, since I've been appointed, I have surveyed many of our residents, friends, people I've met, talked about compensation level for the alderpersons and the mayor. I quizzed them. I want you to know not a one person that I quizzed came close to guessing the current compensation levels for all of you. And then I quizzed them as to what they thought they should be, the compensation levels should be, and not one of them came close to. They were all above the compensation levels recommended by this commission. Everyone thought that your compensation levels were just totally inadequate. I personally believe the compensation levels now set are unintentionally limiting of qualified residents who might have much to offer this city. Frankly, in our discussions, we recognize, both our discussions among ourselves and interviews of each of you on the council and the mayor and the city manager, We recognize that most of you can only do this kind of work with the compensation levels that are currently in place and that might be in place if you adopt our recommendations. If you have some other source of income, retirement income, a professional position which allows you time to do your city duties as well as your work duties, and that eliminates large segments of our community from considering running for elected office. I strongly believe that our recommendation is the bare minimum compensation level that you should consider for, and I know you can't go higher than what we recommend, you should consider. I want to just point out what we have recommended in year one, and I'm excluding the city manager from that, from this, totals $130,000. We were informed that the city operating budget is in the neighborhood of $150 million annually. If that's the case, $130,000 equals 0.00086%. Let me repeat that. 0.00086% of your operating budget. In other words, it's not even peanuts. In our discussions with each of you, because we did interview each of you to complete our work, each of the alderpersons indicated that you put in between 30 and 40 hours a week doing your job. Some said you could use additional help. And in fact, I think many of you indicated that you could use additional help. We interviewed County Council member Lisa Rodvian. She stated that each county council member has one full-time paid staff position assigned to them to assist them with all their constituent needs. We're not making a particular recommendation of how many staff the city council might need, but all of us on the commission believe that there was a need for additional staff. But that is not part of our responsibility as commissioners on this commission. That's your responsibility. It's up to you to budget to fund adequate staff so that you can all perform your job. It's not, in my mind, an either or proposition, and I'm addressing my specific alderperson. I think the compensation levels, as I have stated, disqualify or prevent large numbers of our residents from participating in elected office or seeking elected office. And I urge you to adopt our recommendation in its entirety. We're here to answer any questions. I don't know if any of my colleagues have anything.
I would just simply say me too. It was, yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to serve. You guys do incredible work, and you need to be adequately supported and compensated for it.
We appreciate you guys. I just want to wrap it up with saying we do live in one of the best cities in America, and a lot of people running this city before we got here, and they've done a great job, and you know, you've all done a great job. And the land use study proved that we're in charge of a $9 billion city. $9 billion is the land value in the 8 square miles of our city, and our study showed that. So we have to keep, you know, the roads, the trains running on time in a $9 billion corporation. So thank you for backing us up on that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'd also like to add that please thank Paul Rankin, who prepared our group statement. And he could not be here, but he was the author of that. So I thank you guys for, on his behalf as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item is legislative action on first readers, beginning with resolutions R525, Maryland Hall for the Community of Arts fee waiver.
Is there a motion to adopt R5-25 on first reader?
Second.
Alderman Gay.
I just was curious why there wasn't a staff report attached to discuss what impact this would have on the particular department.
It's on first reader, right? No staff report?
I thought there was a policy set in place that the legislature wouldn't come before us if there wasn't a staff report attached.
Mr. City Manager? First reader.
Vicky Buckland, Assistant City Manager. I'm sorry, I will take that on. I know that there had been a little bit of back and forth about making sure that the final number was correct. And I will make sure that that the reports are entered.
I was just curious, and I'm not, I didn't know, that you were working on that individually, but I'm curious because I'm wondering how this will impact the individual department because it's listed as $55,000, which I was like, well, what fees could they be possibly paying to us for a renovation for $55,000? I was just extremely curious about that.
Building.
The building permits, of
Mayor,
course, but
Mr.
I was shocked at the price tag is what I was.
Mr.
Yeah,
Alderman
I'll
Huntley?
just say, Alderman Gay, I think I share a lot of your questions, and I definitely plan on having a robust discussion about this in the Finance Committee meeting. But I think the most relevant part of what would be a staff report on there is the number at the end, that it's $55,000. But yeah, definitely want to give our friends at Maryland Hall an opportunity to come present on it at the Finance Committee meeting because it's one of the bigger fee waivers that we.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favour on first reader say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We'll refer that to the Finance Committee. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is second readers, resolutions, beginning with Resolution R1025, 2025 Annapolis Film Festival Fee Waiver.
Is there a motion to adopt R10-25 on second reader?
So moved.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley,
Aye.
Alderman Savage,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderman Huntley,
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill. Okay. Alderwoman Kendall Charles.
Aye.
Alderman Finlayson.
Aye.
Alderman Shandemeyer.
Aye.
Alderman Gay.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
The agenda is complete, Mr. Mayor.
What?
Look, we finished before we started.
What? Okay, is there anything else for good order? Alderman Gay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I'm not sure if this is your last meeting, Director Dickinson. Okay.
No.
Okay, one more. I know you plan to stay around, but I know that we now have a new director, so just wanting to extend my gratitude for being able to work with you for the last 6 years. Not just during the budget process, but throughout the year. It's been absolutely fantastic, and you've helped me a ton with so many things going on, and so thank you very much.
Alderman Finlayson.
Mr. Mayor, I hate to go back to our first reader, R8. No, it's not R8. Is it R8 that has no attachments? I think Alderman Gay mentioned it, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. Will all of the... Okay. It's the Maryland Hall.
Yep.
Is that what was
Yep.
questioned? So
Deputy
before it
Director's
goes
gonna
to
get a
finance, we will
report.
get all the attachments?
Yep.
Good. Okay. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I couldn't understand what was
problems.
being said. Thank you.
Anything else? Well, we're going to do this again, but Jody, we really thank you for putting the city in the best financial position it's been in modern history, I would say. So thank you so much for your amazing dedication, and we are all going to miss you. So our goal is to try to make you cry before you leave, so. And regret. Okay, thank you so much. Anything else for good order? Thank you. Can I get a motion, please?
Second.
All those in favour say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. 7.